Yeah. Scala you can do even in Ubuntu, or you can do Windows. IntelliJ you can do anywhere, right? Because
Exactly. I didn't. I started.
just you need to do practice. Okay, for practice, Scala you can do anywhere. Okay, yeah.
Exactly.
So
Okay. Yeah, it's working. It's working outside the Ubuntu. Yes. I just find
mm,
Ubuntu so restricted. It's like in a closet. I don't know. That maybe because the window is so small.
mm-hmm.
Psychological though. I feel more comfortable outside it, maybe in Windows,
Mm.
yeah. But I've installed it. It's working very well.
So so what practice you have done so far?
The example the examples you worked with
Okay.
that what is it called? If I get
So I covered last session.
yes, this is it. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
So like we covered so far like
That's
Scala.
Java point
So,
count.
so Scala comments we finish it, right? So we have to do next is a higher order function. So Scala functions. So Scala functions I have done last time this
Yes, you've done. Yes.
parameterized function. Okay, so I think next thing is higher order function, because this is a very important part of because this higher order function is when function is passing as a parameter, or function is returning
Higher
as a
order
parameter.
functions. Okay.
Higher order function, and this higher order function is there in the Python also. If you know the decorator pattern, so decorator pattern is basically taking a function as a parameter and returning function as a output. Okay, so that is basically higher order function. So how to write our own higher order function? We can write custom higher order function. Okay, because some inbuilt higher order function is there: map, flat map, filter. These are all higher order function in Spark.
Lambda, yes,
In
yes, yes.
Spark, but we can write our own higher order function. So how we can write our own higher order function? So suppose I'm defining some separate function. I created a one function is multiply by 2. Okay, this
Right.
function is taking one input parameter a and returning output is integer. So a multiply 2, right? If the a value is 50, so output will be 25 is the input value, the output will be 50, right?
Right.
So what this function, the another function is there. This function is called, okay, this function is called higher order. This is not a higher order function. This is a normal function. This is just a function. Okay. But this function is a higher order function, which is taking one input parameter as function. This is taking input parameter is a function, right? So here is a function f is the input. This function is a any function. So whatever function I will call here, multiply by 2, right? This is a function I'm passing. When I'm calling this function, when I call a higher order function, I'm passing first parameter is a value, some integer value, and second value is a function name, right? And this function will be taken here as a function, as a parameter, right? So what I'm doing here, the function which I'm passing as a parameter, I'm using it in the, I'm calling it in the function body. So FA. So FA means this function will be called. Which function will be called? This function will be called, because this function passed as a parameter. Okay. So what will be the result? It will be 50 result. Actually, it's a wrong value is coming. It's a 50. So when I create these two functions, one is a higher order function and one function is a normal function. Okay. Okay. I create another object, Scala, and object my object one. So I created a class type, but I have to create a object type. Delete. I will create again Scala. Here my object one and type is a object type. And here I will define the main, because every object has a main. And I'm copy pasting these two functions. One is a harder function, one is a normal function. And this function I have to call
Is it
the main.
the one that comes first is the higher order?
Hmm?
The one that comes first to the other.
See, this function is calling, and this function is a part of this function. There is no first and second, right? Actually, this function is a part of this function call. Now I'm passing the value 25, comma, I'm calling this function multiply by 2, this function as a parameter. Okay, when I give this, I'm not getting any error, right? So now I will run this code. $50, right? So what is doing? Suppose this value I make it. Okay, so
I think my confusion is that we call the function outside the, because when I see def main, we're calling this function. I thought we call the function outside. Isn't it?
Functions always we can define, even if you define inside the main also,
Right.
it doesn't matter here.
But can you call the function outside this main?
Is it giving any problem here? In Java, you can't define the function inside the main function. Java is not possible. But Scala, see, Scala is not giving problem. Even if you keep it, so just you in the main function, you are, the only difference is here. If you are keeping it outside means this function is declared first, then you are calling the main function. Okay. But when you are keeping it inside the main, it means when your main is called, then that time only this function will be called, declared. Okay. It doesn't matter the sequence. Even if I keep it the sequence up and down, it doesn't matter. Sequence doesn't matter, right? Because ultimately you are calling first this function, and inside this function will be used this function, right? So this function will be already ready-made, right? Already created before calling this function. Because this function is higher order function is always run later. Because first it will run the function which is passed to the higher order function, right? Okay. So this function will be have created first. Okay. Otherwise, how can you use it here? If this function you are defining later, it will not be used, right? Okay. So if I'm not creating this, see, it is giving error. I'm giving some different name. I'm getting error in compilation because it is not getting the body of this function. It is expecting multiply by 2, but I have given multiply 2, 1. So that is not the body, right? So this function should be before. Okay. If I don't create this one, what is the problem? If I comment this one, so my function call will not be there, right? Because my function call, so before compilation your body, these two functions should be run, like created first, but this function will be created first out of these two. Okay, correct? Because higher order function will be created at the end. Suppose your class, your object has 3 functions. Okay, your object has 2 functions, and one is a higher order function and one is a normal function. So normal function will be created first, and then higher order function will be created second. Okay. Okay. So you keep it even outside also, it is fine. Okay. So this is a higher order function. So you are passing function as a parameter. Okay. What is the function composition? Function composition is, it is little different. In higher order function, you are passing the parameter as a function name only. Okay. But here you are calling inner function first and then calling outer function. So add to function will be called first, and what is the result is coming from the add to 12, and this 12 will be passed to the outer function multiply by 2, then result will be 24. So I'm creating these two functions. I'm creating these two functions outside. These two functions. Okay, multiply 2 is giving the problem, right? Because it is already there. So I given the name multiply 2, 1. Okay. Now here in the object, main object body, okay, I'm calling here and I'm saying multiply by 2, 1. So first this function will be called add 2. So add 2 will be giving a result 12, and 12 will be passed to the multiply 2, 1, and that will be final result 24. Okay. So when I run it, 24 is coming, right? Okay. So this is the way, right? It is doing composition of function. Composition of function means function of function. When function is called first,
Oh,
and
yeah.
what is the result of the inner function that will be giving
To the
input to the
outer function.
yeah
Okay.
lambda is not here. This is simple function composition. This is a function composition. So this part is a function composition. This is the function composition, and the first one is a higher function, higher order function. Okay, so first one is a higher order function, and second one is a function composition. Okay, so these are the two different things. Okay, so you need to check, right, whether you need a higher order function or you need a function composition. Okay. So this is like it can be a nested multiple label, also nested, not only two functions. Suppose add 3 is there, so one function will be calling, instead of 10 you will be calling add 3. Okay, so there will be any nested label could be there. Suppose one more function is add or multiply 3, or any name you can give, add 3, which is taking the value of a and adding the 3 value. Okay, and this add 3 I'm calling here, instead of this 10, add 3 and passing the value 10. So now add 3 will be adding the 10 plus 3 13 plus 13 plus 2 15 and 15 multiplied to 30.
Let's see.
So result is coming 30. So this is composition.
Wow.
Okay. So this kind of nested label you can do, right? Generally, this is used when we have input output processes there, like one input will become output, output will become again input, again output will become input. Like this, it will keep going on till the outer functions. Okay, this is a lambda, anonymous function. So when function doesn't have any name, that is called lambda. Okay, so generally the lambda is represented by the equal greater than sign. Okay, so this function doesn't have any name, right? Because I'm directly passing the parameter and giving the body, and this variable is assigned this lambda. Okay, so rocket sign is there, that is used to define lambda, anonymous function. So how to call this lambda? So just use lambda variable, the variable is there, and pass the input. Okay, second way is also there for anonymous function, underscore. So underscore is the first parameter and second parameter is also underscore, but here I'm using the plus sign. Correct. So instead of it is becoming more shorter, right? Rather than passing the 2 parameter and then you are using lambda and then you are doing the plus. But here, what are the parameters are coming itself, you are doing plus, or you can do multiply, anything operation you can do. Okay. So this way you are defining the anonymous function. You are not defining any body of this function. So directly this variable, which is the output variable, this variable will pass as a function parameter. Okay, because this will become as a name of the function. This is not an actual name. This is not a name. This is not a name of the function, but this will become a function, it's like calling purpose. This will become a function. Okay, for calling purpose, right? Otherwise, how will you call this? How will pass the parameter? So you need something, right, to pass. Okay, so what they said, whatever your output variable is there, you can pass the bracket, you can pass the parameter. Suppose this function is taking 3 variables. So how many parameters you will pass it here? 3. Suppose you are, and even you can write more lengthy code also. Like suppose you want to write, if you are defining like this, and can we use the braces? Is it giving problem? No, right? So this is just only a plus b is doing. But suppose I want to do 2-3 operation I want to do. Like this a plus b is just returning value, but I don't want to return immediately. I want to assign it to some variable. Okay. Then I want to do x plus 2. So this x plus 2 I want to return. Okay. So this x plus 2 I want to return whatever value is coming a plus b and then x plus 2. Otherwise, I can do assign to some more variable where p equal to x plus 2. Then it could be any number of operations you can do, whatever you want. Okay. It will perform everything. And finally, what you want to return, suppose you say you want to return p multiplied 2. This one you want to return. So first a plus b, then x plus 2, like whatever result is coming. So suppose you are passing 10. So 10 plus 10, 20, 20 plus 2, 22, 22 multiplied 2, that is 44. Okay. So one is coming 44, this one, right? Because I use this one. But here I didn't do any change, right? This result 2. This result 2 is the same as it is, right? Okay. Is it clear? This one is a lambda. So lambda, you can write a function body without name. Okay. Okay. So runtime body will be executed without any name. Okay. This is clear. Lambda is there in the Python. We use the lambda as a keyword. Lambda word.
It's a new concept here.
Lambda is not new.
I mean the operations, the way they are stated.
Yeah, the way of writing lambda is different languages having different way. But ultimate purpose of lambda is everywhere same. Lambda is anonymous function. The definition of lambda is anonymous function, where we don't specify any body, any name of the function. We don't specify any name of the function with the body. We are giving anonymous name, right? And this name is basically whatever your output variable that will be using that name. Okay. Okay, so this is basically multi-line expression you can do. Even in the Java also, this multi-line expression thing is there. Suppose a plus b you want to do in the function. So it will give the error here, but if you do plus sign on the same line, it will not give the error. But if you are doing like this, in any function, if you are writing like this, okay, suppose I write inside this function, I write here. If I write a and next line I write plus 2. Okay. Sorry. Plus. It will be giving error or not. Okay, actually. Let's see, create the same function. I think this function. Because maybe anonymous function is not giving problem. A plus b. I think this is not giving in this version of a Scala. Maybe, see, they said here, if you are writing like this, so if you are writing a plus b, so here is you are getting warning message. Okay, this is not an error. This is just a warning. Okay, this is just a warning message. Like if you are compiling, then you will get it. But here you are not getting it because you are running in the editor. Okay, if you're running in the command line Scala editor, there you will get the warning message. But it's not giving problem. Even if you write it a plus, so here you will not get the warning message. Here is fine. Either you write a plus, or if you want to write in the next line, but make it bracket. So it will understand this is fine. Okay, either you write it like this, but keep it bracket. That is a one way. Or
why do we have to write it that way? Is there any...
No, sometimes like a multi-line expression, right? Even if you are by mistake, right, you are writing in the multiple line your statement, but it will be working, right? It is not. See, in Python you get indentation error, right? If you
Error.
cannot write it, correct. But Scala, Java, these are not indentation. There is no indentation. Okay. So that's advantage of the Java. Like you don't need to worry about typing a code. Okay. So multi-line statement will work. But here it is saying either you use A plus B or this A plus B bracket. Both will not give the error. And here also not giving error, but it is a warning. It is also working fine here, right? But it's just warning. It is just saying like this A is not recognized, but finally it is taking it because this is a warning, right? But finally, if you see here also result is coming 10, right? Okay. So all the cases are fine, but the ideal way is like this, you always write A plus and next line you write your expression. So whatever operation you want to do, that operation should come in the same line. Okay. So at least it will know in next it will be finding the operator. Next, it will be finding the operand. So this is the operator and this is operand. A is the operand, B is the operand, right? And this is the operator. So whenever you do any operation, so just write your operator, then next it will automatically find anywhere your operand. Okay. Suppose you are writing here A plus, and this one you can write anywhere. So it automatically fine. Suppose if I'm writing here, long here, okay. So it is also fine. So if I do this call, if I do so if I'm passing the parameter, what is add one? In the main I'm using, okay. Okay. So when I'm using add one, so even my A is I can keep it V anywhere because it knows the second value will be anywhere will be, it will be picked up. Okay. Hmm. 6 and 8, 14. This is coming. Okay. So multi-line expression can work also. The purpose of this is multi-line expression. Okay. Okay. Another concept is there in the Scala, currying. Currying means when you are passing any lesser number of parameters. Suppose add function, this add function is taking two parameters, right? A and B, right? But right now I'm doing the sum of two value. Okay, I want to do the value of sum of two values, but right now I have only one value. Second value I will get it after few lines. Okay, so this kind of function is very useful. So when you have a fewer number of parameter in the list, and you will get the result when you are passing it to the other parameter. So what I'm doing here, but here you see this currying function is always defined like in the separate bracket, because this two parameters are not provided together. So why it is in separate bracket means, like suppose you want to pass one parameter at a time. If you pass both the parameter together, you will get the result immediately. So you got 20 result, right? But suppose you in the second scenario is this is not the actual use of currying. The actual use of currying is when you have a one parameter and you pass it underscore. You said, Abhi, right now you don't have the second value. Second value will come later point of time, right? Suppose some other function is returning the second parameter value. Okay, so right now you just put it underscore and you have created some output variable, and this output variable you will pass your second value and final result you got it. So ultimately you are doing 10 plus 3 only. You are doing 10 plus 3, but 10 you are passing first time, and second time you are passing whatever 10 value you are adding it. Suppose you have 3 parameter. I'll give you the example. Okay, suppose I have this is a very different use case of the Scala querying. Okay, I'm defining the 3 parameter A, B, and C. And what is the output? Output is a okay 3 parameter, and I am doing the purpose of these 3 values are A, B, C. Okay, and now what I want to do, so here, okay, I make it result 1, and this add function result 1 is also there. Result 6. Okay, so what I'm doing right now, I have a 2 parameter. Okay, I have 2 parameter. I have done the sum of 2, but still I have to pass one more parameter because my function is taking 3 parameter. Okay, I kept it underscore, right? Now the third parameter I will provide after this here. So whatever my output variable came, this output variable, I pass it, this output variable, I pass it my third parameter 10. Again, I pass the 10. And this is my final output, result 7. Okay. Now I will print the sum of 10, 10, 10. Okay. If I say my sum of 10 plus 10 plus 10. Okay. So this result 7 will be my final output. So 2 parameter sum I have done initially, and later on I pass the third parameter, whatever my, but this underscore A is required. Otherwise, it will not take the third parameter. And here is an example. This is the same example. Like I'm giving like 2 parameter first, or if you want to do all parameter together, so you can do that 3 parameter you can write it. Okay, so you say 10, 10, and 10. Okay, and this one you don't need to do because you are getting directly result. And this is your add IT. Okay, because you are getting the direct result. Okay, so this is not actual use. Actual use is this, where you can have, suppose you want to do the sum of 1 parameter, then 2 parameter, then 3 parameter, like this you can do. Okay, but both will be giving the same output. So 10 plus 10, okay, this is coming wrong because 10 plus 10, this result is okay. This is fine because this one is fine. This is this one, right? So 10, 10, 10, 30 is coming. Okay, so this 10 plus 10 is 20 because I'm adding only 2 parameter, right? 10 plus 10, 20, 10 and 10, 20. Okay, this is the result 5. So I have to print first result 5, right? And result 5, I'm adding one more value, 10, and I'm getting result 7. Then I will get 10 plus 10 plus 10, 30. Now it will come good. 10 plus 10. Oh. Result 5. Just 7. This is coming wrong, right? This is coming correct, right? 10 plus 10 plus 10, 30. Okay, and this is correct also. But why it is coming result 5? I'm passing 10 plus 10 and underscore. So here, where I have a 2, right? So 10 plus 10 I'm giving, or I'm giving 10 and underscore, and add IT. Add IT, I'm giving next parameter, then result 2. Same way I'm giving. So here is third parameter I'm giving. This we create add 1 2. Add 1 2. I give only one parameter, and I say name is result 1 2. This result 1 2. This is only one value, and this result 1 2. I say result 1 3 equal to result 1 2, and pass the another one 10. Now where, and this one 10 plus 10, and that is result 1 3. Okay. Okay, here also not coming same, right? So this one coming as a object, not like a value, right? The intermediate value is not displaying. You got it here. Intermediate value is not displaying, but when you checking the final result, then it's coming. But this example, they are showing the intermediate result value, add IT. Oh, yeah. So this one also not showing, right? They are not printing this. Okay. They are not printing also. Yeah. So it will not be any point, right, to print this one, because this is an object. Okay. So you will get final output. Okay. This intermediate output value, you won't get the result. You won't get the value. You will get an object. Correct. So they are not printing it, right? They are not printing. Okay. So it's correct. So it's no point to print this. No point to print here the intermediate value. Okay. But here you are passing all the values. So you can print it. There is no intermediate. Okay. So currying is clear. This is very simple example. Currying. And another one is a nested function. Nested function is when function is having another function, like main function, you are defining the main other functions. So similar way, the inner function will be executed first, right? Okay, like when you are calling add 10 10 10. So when you are calling this add 10 10 10, so add 2 will be called first. Add 2 will be called here, and add 2 will be calling 2 parameters. So 2 parameters sum is doing. Okay, and then and final add 2 will be b plus c, right? So 10 plus 10 20, and then again, okay, so add 2 you are calling 2 times, add to a comma add to bc. So what will happen this one? First add 2 will take 10 comma 10, this last 2 10 and will make it 20. And again, the whatever 20 came, that will become again B, like this part. Okay. So this is like a composition, right? This is composition, right? First it is calling this output and giving it the value here, and then it is giving the value. Okay. But this function is called here nested function. Okay, this is very useful one. You are defining one function. Okay, but you don't know how many values are there in your, this is called variable argument. This is in Python also. Variable number of argument means when you are defining some function, and this function is passing as a list. This is a list parameter. Okay, but you don't know how many values are coming. So what you want to do, you want to do the sum of all the values. Whatever values you are passing, you want to do the sum. So suppose I'm using this sum function. I'm calling this sum function and I'm passing 1 to 9 parameter. Okay, I'm passing 1 to 9. I'm passing 1 to 9. So when I do this, it will do the sum of 1 to 9. Because 1 to 9, it will take it all parameter and it will iterate as a loop, and then it will do sum. Suppose I'm having a parameters only 2. So this function will itself work, right? Because this function is variable argument, right? Now sum is coming 3, right? 2 plus 1. Okay. So why it is happening? Because this is the integer value, but this parameter is not a list, right? If you do the list, suppose I create a one list, integer list I create, I say val x array of 1 comma 2 comma 3. I have a one array. Okay. Now I'm writing another function which is taking list is a parameter to the function. So here, instead of this, I'm saying here, this is array I'm taking, array type, array of int type, like this I'm giving. So when I'm getting this array of int type x here, I'm getting a x here. So this will become the same. The logic will be the same. Okay. The only difference is this is a var argument and this is the list. So this thing will work fine for the list. List is fine because list you can change any number of values. Suppose you make it 8, 9, any number of values you can change it. Your function will not be changed. Your function will work, right? Now, if you print it, this actually I didn't call it. This is the, and this is the overloading function. Okay, so I'm making a change of the function. Add one. Some other name I'm giving. Add 90. So println. I'm calling here my add 19 function and passing the I'm passing this. Okay. Is coming the sum of this. 23 is coming. So 23 is coming for the this sum, right? So list is fine. List is giving the advantage. Okay, like you can change any number of values. So list will work fine. Okay, but I don't want to pass as a list. I say I don't have the option of list. Still I'm passing as a variable. But if you are passing variable, suppose 1 or 2 is there. So one option is there. You say, okay, args1 colon int type, okay, comma args2, you say second variable colon int type. Okay, so this thing will work also here now, and you can do args1 plus args2. This is the logic you will write, args1 plus args2. args1 and args. Okay, args1 and args you will write, and this will you return, right? You will return this. Okay, so you are returning this code will work fine for this or not? This will fine, right? Because two values you are giving like this, it will work fine. Up now, if I say I have a 3 values or 5 values, 3, 7, 9, so this function will work fine? No, it is giving error, right? Because you passed previously 2 values, it was working fine. Now you have 4 values, so you have to add those number of variable, right? Right. So the solution they have given, you don't need to change the body of function, just make it integer star, make it like this, and use as a list or array, whatever you can say. You can use it like this. Okay, you can use it this args1 as a array and iterate it and do sum. Okay, and it will work fine. Now if you add any number of variable values, it doesn't matter. This is a variable you are passing, so it will work for everything. This is clear. So now it will work, because we are using list. List has the feature like any number of values you can give, list can accommodate, because list is a container, list is a collection. Okay, but how can I pass a variable as a collection? How can I pass as a variable as a collection? So this is the way, this is the option. So you don't need to specify for each variable, each values one variable, you don't need to specify, just use star. If it is a string type values, use a string. Okay, so this will work for you for any number of values. That's the reason it is called variable argument, the function with the variable length of parameter. When your length of variables are keep changing, but you don't want to change your function body. Okay, suppose this values are coming from the command line parameter. Sometimes you are giving a 2 parameter, sometimes you are passing 3 parameter or 10 parameter, but you want to get the sum. So you don't want to change the function body. Okay. Okay, because in that case, you can't create a list, right? Suppose one time you got the 1 variable. Okay. Second time you got the 2 variable. So can you make it list in that case? It is not possible. Hard coded list is possible. This is a dynamic, this dynamic list is not possible, or array. So everything you have to keep it fixed at one time. Either you are having 3 values, 4 values, 5 values, and then you can create array. But suppose I say these values are coming from the my command line parameters. How can I use it in this array? Then I cannot use. So variable this will work fine, because it can accommodate any number of variable parameters. Okay, it is a 5 values, 10 values, 100 values, or even if you are passing only 1 value, it will do. If you're passing only 1 value, so your sum will be 1 value, only 1, right? Because 1 plus 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. So your sum will come. Oh, something is breaking. So this, what I modified. This add is actually multiple places there, right? So that is body is changing. So I make it, this one is a different name. Okay, this is called method overloading. Like based on the number of parameter, it is calling the function name is same, that is called polymorphism, the oops concept. When you are defining any function with the same name but different body, so it will be calling based on the number of parameter, right? It will call the body. Okay, so now you are making it only one parameter. Okay, so now no error. Okay, now this add 1 3 4 will call, the sum will come 1 only, right? Because even it's a 1 value, if you add 0 plus 1 will 1, right? But it is still command line, it is still the variable number of parameters passing. So it could be 1, it could be more than 1 values you can, but your function will not change. Your function is a dynamic. So whatever values is coming to your function, it will accept it. Okay, and second way is the replacement of this part is using array, but array is hard coded. You cannot, like suppose this 1980 you are passing through your command line parameter like this. So here you cannot make it. Suppose I say I'm getting ARGS0, ARGS1 and ARGS2. Okay, just take the example. I'm giving 1 2 3 4 values I'm giving. Okay, so how many I have to define the ARGS? So my command line, this ARGS0, ARGS1, ARGS2. Okay. ARGS of 1. So you did this, right? Okay. Now, but we have to make it int, right? Because by default it comes as a 2 int we have to call. Everywhere we have to call dot 2 int dot 2 int dot 2 int, right? And same thing if I do it here. Okay, with these parameters, I'm passing it here also. So here is also working fine, right? Because here is also working fine. But suppose if I want to add one more parameter, okay, if I run this, now this is dynamic. Okay, so whatever values I'm passing it, it is doing the sum of that. Okay, so 10 10 is coming in the both the cases. Okay, I want to pass one more ARGS. Okay, and that ARGS, okay, so if I want to define one more ARGS, so what I have to do? Even if I have to change here and I have to change here, right? I have to change here because I have to tell here. But if I create some collection of that, I can pass it that collection also, right? Like I can iterate in the for loop. Okay, like whatever the length of this ARGS0 values are there, I will do in the, I will, okay, how to find how many values are there in the ARGS, right? So I can check the length of ARGS, how many values are coming. Okay, so I can check length. If length is, what is the length, and based on the length I can use the number of values we can check. Okay, we can define if length is equal to equal 1, then I can make it code dynamic, or I can use a case statement. So even I don't need to manually do. So anytime you change your ARGS 0 1 2 3, so it will work. Okay, this is clear, this one? Okay, tomorrow I start this class concept. Okay, this is object oriented concept and collection. Okay, so I will cover I think then Scala will be covered, exception, collection, and file handling, and the object oriented concept is oops. Okay, this till here, this is completely oops part. This completely comes in oops. So array is the same like we did the array. Okay. You can practice also. See, these are the all ready-made examples. Just a small code piece is there, right? You can run and practice. Okay. Okay. Let's continue tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.